Welcome to SVR IAS Academy. ComeOnIndia.com is our website. When you turn newspaper in the last 1 month till August, you will be seeing one topic often, that is presidential election, whether BJP's candidate will win the election or the united opposition candidate will win the election. That is not important for our civil services examination. What we need to focus is how the presidential election is held, what is the electoral college for the presidential election, and etc. Before discussing about the electoral college, just you should know what is the qualifications needed to become the President of India. According to Article 58, a presidential candidate must be a citizen of India. He should have completed the age of 35 years. It is an important prelims point. The presidential candidate should have qualified for the elections as the member of Lok Sabha. So the presidential candidate should have all the qualifications to become member of Lok Sabha. If you compare this with the vice presidential candidate, the vice presidential candidate should have all the qualifications to become a member of Rajya Sabha. It is an important contrasting point. It can be asked in the prelims examination by UPSC. With respect to the presidential election, you may ask one question: why it is called as indirect election? In the presidential election, people will not vote directly to elect the president. In our parliamentary system of government, people directly vote and elects their MLAs and MPs. These MLAs and MPs, which in turn forms the collegium and votes to elect the president. That is why presidential election is called as indirect election. Another question emerges: in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and in the state legislative assemblies, we have two kind of members. One is elected member and second is nominated member. Whether both kind of members can participate in the presidential election or not. Nominated members of state assemblies and Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are not allowed to participate in the presidential election. What is the reason for that? The nominated members are appointed by President himself. For example, nominated members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are appointed by the President. On the other hand, nominated members of the state legislative assembly is appointed by Governor. Governor in turn appointed by the President of India. So there is a vested interest. So nominated members should not be allowed to participate in the presidential election. So that is the reason only the elected members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and elected members of the state legislative assembly and elected members of the union territories of Delhi and Pondicherry are allowed to vote and form the electoral college. Another question emerges: fine, elected members of the MPs and MLAs can vote in the presidential election. What about value of the vote of MP and MLA? Whether both are same or both are different? Definitely value of an vote of an MP is more than value of vote of an MLA. First, let's calculate the vote value of an MLA in the presidential election. Vote value of an MLA is decided by the total population of the state he belongs, that is divided by the number of the elected members to the legislative assembly. then the value is further divided by 100. Not 100, it is divided by 1000. For example, consider state A. The population of the state is 30 lakh and the total number of MLA seats in the state is 200. So 200 MLAs are elected to the state assembly of state A. So the value of the vote of an MLA in this state is equal to 30 lakh divided by 200 into 1000. So whatever the value comes is the vote value of an MLA of state A. Here one question you may ask, how the population is decided, because population of a state increases or decreases every month. What is the base value which is used to calculate the state population? It is the 1971 census. 1971 census that is used to calculate the population of the state in the presidential election. It is an important point for the prelims examination. Everyone may assume that census would be 2011 census. It is not that one. It is the 1971 census that is used to calculate total population while counting the total value of an MLA. 1971 census data will be applicable till the year 2026. Now fine, we have calculated a vote value of an MLA. How to calculate vote value of an MP? MP's vote value is calculated by dividing the total value of votes of all MLAs of the whole country. It means total number of MLAs vote share. So all the states, 29 states are there. So from 29 states, how many MLAs are there? Add vote value of all the MLAs, then divided by total number of elected MPs in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So divided by total MPs in the both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Total MPs means it will not include nominated MPs. Only the total number of elected MPs of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Another question emerges, how so far we have fixed the vote value of MLA and MP. How MLA and MP votes in the presidential election? In the traditional ballot system, voter casts only one vote for his preferred candidate. But in the presidential election, single transferable vote system is followed. It is simply called as STV system, that is single transferable vote system. According to this, every voter, whether MLA or MP, have to give their preferences for the presidential candidate. For example, in the presidential election, 5 candidates are contesting, means each voter, whether MLA or MP, have to give their preference. For example, totally 5 candidates A, B, C, D or E are standing in the election. Then if each voter has to give their preference, first may go to B, second may go to A, third may go to E, fourth preference goes to C and fifth preference goes to D. Like that, each voter have to give their preference. Here one prelims point is that it is mandatory for all the voters to give their first preference. They must give their first preference. It is optional for them to give second, third, fourth, fifth preference. It is up to them to give the preference, but it is mandatory to provide the first preference. If they are not giving first preference, means their vote will become invalid. their vote will not be counted as a valid one. Then now we will go discuss about how vote quota is decided. Vote quota is decided by means of proportional representation. Proportional representation. In our parliamentary and state assembly elections, we follow first past the post system. First past the post system. That means a candidate who secures one vote more than the second candidate, then he will be declared as winner. Even the winner gets lowest vote share, like less than 50%. Even in some cases, even the candidate who secures 30% of the total votes polled, he is declared as winner because he secured at least one vote more than the second candidate. It is a system that is a first past post system followed for the parliamentary and state legislative assembly elections. But in the presidential election, that system is not followed. Here proportional representation is followed. A presidential candidate needs to secure at least 50% of the valid votes polled in the election to be declared as winner. So 50 plus 50% of the valid votes needs to be secured by the candidate. One important exam point you should know is presidential candidate is not declared as a winner based on the first number of first preferences or number of the most votes. It is based on the number of total valid votes. From the valid votes, he has to secure at least 50% of the vote. If no candidate gets 50% of the valid votes, means the candidate with the lowest number of votes will be eliminated and the candidate's second preference, or you can say the candidate's votes second preferences will be transferred to the other candidates. For example, consider candidate A, B, C. No candidate secured 50% of the total valid votes. Now the candidate C secured lowest votes, so his candidature will be eliminated and whatever votes he got through first preference, his first preference will be eliminated. Based on the second preference of these votes, the vote will be distributed between A and B. Based on that, winner will be declared. It is for 3 candidates. If five candidates are there, means the fifth candidate will be eliminated. If even after eliminating one candidate, no one is securing 50%, means fourth candidate will be eliminated. If required, third candidate will also get eliminated. Finally, a candidate is declared as winner who gets 50% plus valid votes. One factual point is that vote value of an MLA depends upon the total population of the state. So, MLA vote value from the Uttar Pradesh has the high share. That is, Uttar Pradesh MLAs have highest vote value, whereas Sikkim MLA have lowest vote value. Usually in the parliament or state assembly proceedings, parties issue whip to its members. Whip means, for example, to vote in a bill, if BJP issues whip means all BJP MPs must attend the meeting on a particular day and vote in favor of the bill in the party line. No MP should vote against the party's ideology. It is called as whip. All parties issues whip in the state assembly and parliament. But with respect to the presidential election, no party is allowed to issue whip to garner votes for a particular candidate. So in this video lecture, we discussed so many points. We have collected these details from various newspapers because this topic is one of the important topic for mains examination. Definitely we expect one question in the mains October 2018. We expect one question. If not asked, surely you may get a question in the prelims 2018. So prepare well on this topic and all the best.